Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to FTR here for round 8, the Monaco Grand Prix of Season 2, and it's a track that I'm a bit 50-50 about. As you can see there, we've got rain for the race, which is actually a good thing for me. I feel that I'm a lot stronger in the wet, just naturally, but at Monaco it forces you to underdrive the car, and I feel as we get damage on our first flying run here in qualifying, I just feel a lot more comfortable having to underdrive the car. I feel a lot less under pressure to I just feel the setup works better that I'm using. I feel a lot more comfortable basically. This is round 8. This was probably from about 3 months ago, because currently, as of Sunday the 2nd, as Casper gets in our way a little bit on our flying lap, which kind of annoyed me a little bit. We would have improved quite heavily there. We are actually going to be challenging for pole position, hopefully. I mean, we would have probably got at least second with that run, but we had Callum in the way. Not Callum, Casper, sorry. And as we're going to finish qualifying, the disconnect has happened. It's come back, and we are unable to complete our flying lap because bad omens. Well, that happened. We get fourth. I would have got pole. I would have been at least on the second row of the grid if I'd have improved even on the second lap with track evolution. I'm pretty certain that I would have got it. Yes, this I've put off recording FTR for quite a while. You're going to see why in this episode, because it didn't fill me with joy knowing that I had to go over and try and record this. But we're getting ready for the race now. Deciding if we could try and do the no stop, it won't work. So we're just going to deal with the two stop. The one stop rather. We're going to underfuel the car quite a bit, and as I said, Monaco, I sit well with it. The setup works perfectly in the wet, so let's hope for a decent result. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5 red lights for the Monaco Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. We get a pretty okay start compared to Chris up ahead, but we really can't go anywhere because it's Monaco and we're on the outside. We get overtaken by our teammate. There's bits of carbon fibre flying everywhere. Shuey gets to the inside of us as well, so we've already dropped a position down to 6th. We've got Kostag right behind us, and we are running 11-11 wings here, so on the straights we are going to be a absolute sitting duck, but hopefully we can get that time back in the corners and under acceleration and stuff as we're try and overtake by the outside of Kostag, who completely piles into the back of Chris. We tried going up the inside there, but really isn't anything we can do. I don't really want to risk my front wing going into this. It is only lap 1, so we didn't actually pick up any damage, so that's good. Our tyres are insanely cold though. I believe I had a very, very slow formation lap, and tyre temperatures is in the way. It takes a while for them to get up to temperature, especially with the types of formation laps we have, as Chris loses a bit of his front wing. So I believe that's front wing from both sides of his car now that have gone flying off. And that was a pretty manic opening lap. We've dropped a position, but luckily I think someone pitted. I believe it was Shuey in the Williams, so that promoted us up into 5th place, and now we've got Niels who's pitted again. He's pitted for the first time, and he's got on to another set of intermediates obviously. So I put us up into 4th place. We had a little look at the inside of Chris there, but nothing really did of it. And as you can see, already on lap 4, as a VSC gets deployed for someone's shenanigans, we're already 8 seconds behind our teammate. So, this being stuck behind Chris, who had front wing damages and was considerably slower than everyone around him, it really annoyed me. I was getting very frustrated. Obviously, 11-11 wings isn't going to help us out here, but he does the gentlemanly thing here, and he's actually going to let us go. And now we've got the task of closing down. 8 seconds to my teammate, 10 seconds to Casper in first. Hopefully we can do that relatively well, as my teammate is currently warning me of, I believe, Kostag, who's planted in the wall. just warning me that the car's on the outside of the track so I don't drive into him. As you can see, there is this car on the racing line. Well, not on the racing line entirely, but it's there. And now, on to lap 6. We're starting to showcase our pace a little bit. Casper sets the fastest lap. We are getting into our groove and our stride a little bit. We set our fastest lap of a 23.9. So definitely showcasing the pace that we have here. We've closed our teammate in by a second and Casper by about 8 tenths. So, yeah, we've got to try and play this on strategies. Now we've gone to lap 14. And we set another fastest lap at 23.5. But as you can see, for the space of about 9 laps, we've closed in about half of the distance between both of these guys up ahead. So we definitely have the pace to win this race. And now we've gone to lap 16. Casper actually got damage. So that allowed Alex to close in a lot to him, and now that obviously they've been battling, so we're right behind them, and we've managed to close in. And now we've just got to wait on strategy, because whilst it is Monaco and the overcut tends to be better as Casper pits probably to change his front wing, so we're not going to have to worry about him. In terms of the overcut, is generally stronger in terms of getting track position, like just because you can't overtake around here. In career mode it works, but in the lobby where there's only 8 people left as Alex peels into the pits, the undercut will be better, especially given how powerful an undercut is at a track like this when you're not in traffic. But we're going to try and pull off the overcut. As you can see, come into the pits, we managed to drop Chris by 30 seconds in the space of about 15 laps or 14 laps, and now we're coming into the pits and Casper's 20 seconds behind us, and that's not enough, so we're actually going to perfect a very decent undercut here. Casper might get us. Actually saying he might get us. He's only coming through the final corner now. So we're going to come out, having perfected an overcut in probably not the ideal circumstance. An overcut on a clear track in Monaco is definitely not the strongest, but our pace has allowed us to get a 2-second overcut on Casper. So we now lead the Monaco Grand Prix, and at this point in the race, it's pretty smooth sailing to the end. As you see, Casper's trying his hardest to get close to me as we set another fastest lap of the race. I feel, and I know this from practice races, as I get further into the race, obviously your confidence, your rhythm builds, and you get more accustomed to it. But for the practice races that were in the dry, I didn't make any mistakes, get any warnings, get any damage after lap 10. And so far at the moment, I've got like lime green damage. That's it, maybe 1 or 2 warnings. But I know that now, at this point, I can just bring it home. Like, even though I'm running 11 wings, and it's going to be really difficult to keep Casper behind, I'm a lot quicker, and I have a lot of more pace. I mean, just look, we've got, 47-second lead to Chris, so he's really going to be bothering us in this race. We managed to pull back something like 10 seconds on Casper and Alex, and perform an overcut. So literally all things that really shouldn't be possible have been achieved. So I'm feeling pretty comfortable with this race. Obviously we're not going to be pushing the car to a ridiculous amount. As you can see, we're driving the car quite a bit here. And now, since nothing much is really happening, obviously my brake pedal is squeaking in the background. Don't worry, from round 12 onwards, I have a new wheel. So that won't be happening. There will be no more squeaking. We need to talk about the elephant in the room. It's when this race was filmed, or done rather. My wheel, as in my old one, as Callum goes for a little spin there. I believe he had contact with someone, or maybe just spun his own, but that's brought out a safety car. And as you can hear me say, first of all, I'm discussing strategy. Do I pit, do I not? Because I do have front wing damage. If I pit, I get a fresh set of inters I can put front wing on. But I've realised, I remember from a race that I did in TSRL, I believe, around Monaco, I actually lost a race because I pitted. So I'm going to stay out, keep track position, and that turns out to be the right decision, as Casper also stays out. Alex comes in because he had more damage, and what I'm doing here is I'm recalibrating my wheel. Now, the reason I'm doing this is we're getting ready to get underway for the restart. Our tyres could be very cold for this. My wheel, imagine I'm I'd start the game, so I'd start qualifying because we get a pretty poor getaway, but luckily Casper really doesn't want to challenge it, and we're going to use some overtake to keep him behind. Casper does have a 5-second penalty, but if that might be in contact with someone, or might have sped into the pit lane. But yes, the wheel. So it would start off, it would be calibrated perfectly, and then every lap I would go through Monaco, especially the hotel hairpin, it would pull a little bit more to the left, maybe 3 or 4 degrees every lap. And it got to the point where the safety car was there that I was having to turn my wheel about 60 to 70 degrees left in my hands, like my physical wheel, for the car in the game to go straight. And you can imagine what this does. It throws off your rhythm so much. It's like trying to race without sound, or trying to race with like a sticky throttle or brake pedal. It throws your rhythm off completely. But the only silver lining was, obviously, the circumstances Monaco in the wet, it's you can drive a lot slower and a lot more cautiously, but the silver lining here was it was progressive, so it would get worse, and it got considerably worse. So like I'm turning in some of these corners, like this left-hander here, the amount I'm turning in for that corner would be the amount I have to turn my physical wheel to keep it straight. So that was fun and interesting. But yeah, it was progressive, and it didn't really affect me all too much. But obviously I had to get rid of my wheel after that, and we've got a new one, so those issues have all been sorted out. And now we come on to lap 34. We've got a 5.6 second lead over Alex, a 10 second lead over Casper, and a 14 second lead over Chris. So we're looking pretty set to, yeah. I don't know. I really don't know what to say anymore. We lost 4 laps because it wasn't like a 2-minute disconnect in qualifying where my Xbox would reset itself quickly. I had to turn off my Xbox completely, I had to reset it, and yeah, we lost the lead to Alex, we lost second place to Chris, and I don't really know what to say. It just, through all of the wheel issues, through the poor qualifying, the disconnecting qualifying, and then driving a race so perfectly, at least in my opinion, it really, really fucked me off that this happened. And I'm driving very angrily here to try and get faster laps, to try and salvage something. And this is going to reiterate a point here. I'm going to make no mistakes on this lap. You do not want to drive angrily on Sochi or France, the tracks with the most runoff, because you drive in anger, you're going to make more mistakes. You don't want to be doing it at a wet Monaco, but in this situation I didn't get any more warnings, I didn't get any more damage, so I'm 100% certain that I would have finished this race easily and won by quite a considerable margin. But it's not to be. I guess I don't know what to say. I mean, I would have loved, like Alex said, that if I'd have only lost a position to him, he would have waited and allowed me to get the win. I mean, it'd have been nice if, because Chris is going to inherit the win, because Alex has got a time penalty. It would be very sportsmanlike if I would get the win, but obviously that's not going to happen. I can't really control disconnects, so it really annoyed me, and I don't even get driver of the day, considering all the issues I went through. Not even a sympathy driver of the day. And as you're going to hear when I come across the line, it's still going to be third place. It's a good result, but I'm very angry. Very, very, very angry. Yeah, I don't know what to say, and the party between me and Alex is going to explain a bit of how I feel.
Hello? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. What happened?
Signed out of Xbox Live, totally disconnected me from the internet. So I had to restart my Xbox. The usual.
Big bullshit. I would have won that. Penultimate lap, I hit the wall again, so I got damage on both sides. I was gonna get it, and then fucking Rascas, I clipped my rear wheel, and I completely lose it. I managed to save it, but still. Oh well.
Well, I'm not even
I
gonna get
mean,
the fucking win for that, am I? Because Chris will take it 'cause it's his sloppy seconds or whatever.
well, I think at the end of it, we just need to take it at this because Chris is gonna have something like that, and if he's gonna have nothing like that, if we're not gonna get you that win, if he has another issue, we should say no to him. So I think third from fourth is still good. We're still pulling on everyone.
Wow.
Let's join the fucking
I'm
podium.
not fucking joining. I'm going back now.
Alright, I'll see you later, mate. I honestly, you should have won that, but that much.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. We still did
Alright.
well, so that's good.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'll see you later.
See you. So yeah, that was the race. I have no words. That win was mine. Me and Alex have said for the remainder of the season that I'm classing that as my win, because it's not even through a fault of my own. You know, I didn't make any mistakes. I didn't, you know, it was out of my control basically, and I dominated that race. And the fact that I didn't get driver of the day just pissed me off even more. It also means that we're 100 points behind our teammate in the championship, which at this point the championship was looking a bit out of reach, but I felt that if I had a good result in Monaco, it'd sort of give me like a second wind to try and get closer to Alex. But it wasn't to be. We're obviously going to be missing the next 3 races, so round 9, 10 and 11, because it took ages for my wheel to come. So that's pretty much my championship over. Yeah, it's it's a difficult one to try and process even now, but you know, Alex said that, you know, he'd class that as my win. He'd have given me the win if I was still ahead of Chris. It's just annoying that the disconnect was obviously longer in the race than it was in qualifying, but it happens. I'm just going to focus on being a good teammate now, making sure Alex can win the drivers, and I will try and fight for second. Our constructors looks to be pretty much in the bag. We definitely have the best team. But yeah, that's kind of it really. I mean, I don't know what to say. I guess I'll see you all for round 12, which will be my return at Belgium, track that we won in season 1. So let's hope we can have a bit of redemption. And yeah, let's just forget Monaco for now, and I'll catch you all for some more FTR content very soon.